Hi, everybody. It's so good to see you all. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I hope that you are able to receive love and to give love out. We're kind of in the season of what some people refer to as like Thanksgiving, or the kind of the season of thankfulness and gratefulness. And it's how I choose to think about it. All the ways in which I can be thankful and grateful for those things around me. Um, and one of the things I'm always grateful for is the opportunity to find new stories and to find exciting books and authors to share with you all. My name is Tanisha. Welcome to Talking Books with Tanisha. Season 5 is just about sharing some really great stories and books that I've read since the last time I met you all. Last time that we had a chance to do our summer dump. And there have been so many great books that have come across my way since then. And there's an author that I have found that is just making me like look forward to every good break because I can find a book from her and like spend my whole break just like kind of indulge in one or even two of those books, just kind of getting away. It's the perfect escape. She has stories that are fun and hopeful and optimistic, and sometimes have really challenging things that are happening as well. And she just has a gift for storytelling. Her name is Sarah Adams. You can see some of the books behind me. One of the books that I found this past summer actually, and it was actually part of my summer book dump, was When in Rome, which is right over here, right behind me. When in Rome is a book that was like on the kind of the little like at the local bookstore, the little shelving. I was talking about the perfect summer reads. And I was looking for some like more books to read for the summertime because that's a perfect time to kind of binge a bunch of really great stories. And I found this book, When in Rome, and I was just really captured right away. It was about a celebrity singer, like a big pop star who is just looking for an escape and can't quite get to Rome, Italy, so decides to go to the nearest Rome that she can find. And so she finds Rome in another little southern state, a little southern town. In the southern part of the United States. And when she's there, she has a chance to kind of meet all these really sweet people. And just to kind of find this perfect guy that she doesn't quite know is perfect yet, who happens to be a pie maker and has his own bakery. And she kind of discovers that sometimes like the glitz and the glamour is not always the only thing that matters. And I got so into that story. And there's another story that went with it, which is also like right here behind me. Practice makes perfect, and they're actually connected. And that's something that Sarah Adams does really well. She actually like has a lot of overlap with some of her characters. So some of the characters that are highlighted in When in Rome are also in Practice Makes Perfect. And then over here is the book called The Cheat Sheet. And that was a really fun one because it's about a football player and his best friend. And there's also one right over here next to it called The Rule Book, and those are connected with each other. There's a couple down here that I'm super excited. They also had a chance to read called The Match, called The Temporary Roommate, like all different kinds of really fun stories. And here's the thing, like they're the kind of stories that you get into and you kind of think you have an idea of what's going to happen. And most of the time you're going to be right. Like it's pretty predictable in terms of like, there's going to be a love story, there's going to be some kind of misunderstanding. There's going to be some kind of like, why we should or shouldn't like each other. And there's going to be some kind of conclusion where everything kind of fits together. And let me tell you, sometimes in a world of chaos and a time of uncertainty, with a time of like raw grief and loss, like sometimes you just need something that's really certain. That's going to bring a smile to your face. Sarah Ann's not also afraid to deal with actually, issues like depression and anxiety and parental neglect and body disorder. Like, just really thinking about looking at some of those images or some of those issues in a different kind of context. One of the questions that sometimes is asked when I'm reviewing books on Storygraph is like, are the characters diverse? And that's a good question because based on the covers of these books, there isn't a lot of diversity that's really present. And so I'll be honest with you, the characters are not super diverse. Probably the most diverse characters I've met have been in the cheat sheet in the rule book. And those are some of the characters, those are some of the players that are on the football team of the main characters that are displayed or showcased in that story. I do think that the storylines themselves lend themselves to like a pretty general experience around like, a little bit of cat and mouse game, a little bit of meet cute, a little bit of like love story and rom-com. These are like the perfect books for those of you who like a good rom-com movie. These are rom-com between pages, like between covers. I've been really excited to share this because I feel like I've been binging on Sarah Adams like since the summer when I found When in Rome. I've read almost all of the books. The last book I have to read is The Temporary Roomie, which is right over here. I just received that, so I'm ready for me to break that book open as well. And they always have left me like either laughing out loud or sometimes even like, kind of giggling to myself. I read reading this one of these books on a plane and like just start laughing and couldn't quite stop, and people were looking at me. But when a book makes you laugh out loud, it's a good time. So I just want to encourage you to find a Sarah Adams book. They're the perfect books also to pass along to other people. I've already, lent out a couple of my books because they're fun for other people who are also kind of like just finding a nice escape and wanting to kind of find a way to like relieve some of the real pressures of the world. I say go ahead and escape inside of a world of Sarah Adams because that's a really great place to kind of live for a little bit. Thanks for joining me today. I hope that you can find one of these books. I hope more importantly, you can find a book that you like. I hope that you can share the book that you like. I hope you can share this channel. Like, please share this with other people. Like, subscribe, share it out. Those important things that make sure we are getting books in the hands of really beautiful people who are always waiting for the right story to kind of grip them. Literacy right now is like at a national kind of, pandemic. We're having issues with like who has access to literacy. And we should not be having any issues with people who don't know how to read or who don't have access to books. So share a book if you have one, receive a book if you don't have one, practice some of those skills around, practicing your reading, and practice with other people. Join a book club, join a book study. There's a lot of free opportunities where you can kind of find a right place for you to fit in at your local library. It's a really great place to find books and to find people who are willing to help you find the right story for yourself. I don't want to stop until like people are really excited about reading as much as I am. So in the meantime, while we're being grateful for everything, find a great book that you can be grateful for and then share that story with somebody else so they can be grateful to receive it. Thanks so much for tuning in to Talking Books with Tanisha. And as always, keep reading. Thanks for being here.